Hi, this is Sherry. I'm coming at you for Angel's Whisper, and I'm on Canyon Lake. I was ingenious today. I see these wires, and I hooked my canoe to the wire, so I don't have to sit here and struggle with the wind blowing, and I can show you guys around the lake while I'm speaking, which is really cool. So if you hear any creaking, that's what we're doing, it's that. I have two totems that I was going to speak to you about, and I don't know, I'm asking Spirit for this camera to not die halfway through, so if I can get through them both, cool. I guess we'll know as we get going, right? So I'm going to turn. There's a lot for me to tell you about, so I think I'm going to just turn this way, and I'm going to let you guys just kind of look at the lake because it's too pretty. And I'm just going to speak to you. And the message that we're getting, who we're coming to, is one of my friends actually sent me a video. Here, I'll just tell you for a sec. One of my friends sent me something this morning, and it was porcupine, so this is what it is. I know that Spirit always brings me what it is that I'm supposed to speak about. So porcupine's what we're getting. So, porcupine medicine. They're talking about deflector shields up. Or, is it time for the deflector shields to come up? Or has your defense mechanisms lodged you into a corner? Have you gotten yourself stuck somewhere? Porcupine medicine is asking you how you're going to reach the goal that you have in mind. What is this goal that you wish to reach? How are you going to get there? If you've been, if you forced yourself into a situation prematurely, they're talking about you might get the sharp end of a pinprick, to tell it, basically it's telling you to step back, right? The porcupine quill is getting you, so it's going to step back. But on the other hand, if you've made yourself unapproachable and inconsolable that not even your loved ones are able to get near enough to help you, Porcupine is advising you against isolating yourself right now. She's saying that you've got your own built-in security system. Here, I feel like I'm going to flip over. The security system that Porcupine has, it's actually they have an invisible quill system. We all do. That project outside of our bodies to allow to let others know, it's time to step back, back up, and it's how we define our boundaries. It's a quill shield, but it's called your auric shield and your auric field. And this is developed and strengthened through yoga. And if it's strong, it'll keep people away from you, trouble far away or whatever it is that you're trying to avoid. And so medicine of the porcupine is trying to teach you how to access your communicative but non-verbal shield to go up when somebody or a situation is coming towards you that you don't wish to deal with. And it's you that has to make sure that you do this. We all have the ability to put up this auric field and this shield, our own shield. Often I've been getting that myself lately. Put up your shield, put up your shield. And I actually never thought about this myself, envisioning my auric shield. So they're talking about envision your auric shield the next time that you want to get out of and interacting with somebody. A lot of times you get, people, it's not that you don't maybe dislike the people, or it's just I've got things to do, or I don't want to be rude. A lot of times people have a hard time saying, I need my space, back off. And so they're saying this is the way you can do it without hurting anybody's feelings. So you got to practice this. So they're saying the next time you want to get out of it interacting with somebody, visualize this quill, protective field rising around you, and watch how the energy exchange ends. I used to just say to Spirit, I used to just say it in my head, okay, it's time for you to go, it's time for you to go. Or I would say to Spirit, end this conversation, I need to get moving here. And it would happen just as well. But in visualizing the auric field going up around you, your porcupine quill going around you, I like that better because it's like, I'm not asking for anyone else, I'm doing this myself. We have the ability to do, here we go with the wind, that's why I put my hair in braids like an idiot. So we have the ability to do this. And they're saying that, you should watch it happen. But if you can't seem to locate your defense system that you have, maybe it's that you need to strengthen your auric shield. And the way you do this is yoga. Yoga is an amazing way to build your defense system. But any hiking or sports or anything that running or anything that requires physical energy as well will strengthen your auric field and your defense system. So what it's also saying, they're talking about your body being built for action, designed for action. And we have to consciously make time for that. We've got to kick ourselves out. I do. I got to kick myself out. Somebody moved in today to our suite, and I was watching her as she was unpacking, and she's got these awesome arms like Angela Bassett, and I thought, right on, she's gonna help me out because I want to get my arms like that. And she walked up and I told her that, and she goes, oh, I've got a Pilates machine. And I'm like, right on. So she's right there. So I'm gonna make time. So it talks about, we need to figure out what we have to do to make time to strengthen our body and get out. You know, I'm killing myself out here in the wind today, but I'm doing it. I'm out here, you know, and it talks about if we allow our bodies to get into a lethargic shape, we're kind of not aware of our energetic effects that come to us. Like people start stepping over into our boundaries and coming into our fields because we've allowed ourselves to physically weaken. We need to keep our energy strong, and the way of doing that is literally get your body in polish your armor basically with physical exercise. But contrary to the appearance, you know, you look at a little porcupine and they're not aggressive people. Porcupine people are actually very sweet people. They're non-confrontational. They're herbivores. You know, they don't attack other animals. They like to eat vegetables. They're vegetarians basically, and they're not about anger. They're about peace. So, what it's talking about, you know, she doesn't want to fight. She's not looking for a fight with anybody, but she does have a defense system, and she's able to step up and speak for herself when she needs to. You know, and it's okay to make yourself unapproachable to people that you don't want to interact with. But as far as the porcupine, underneath her weapons, they're showing she's got a very playful spirit, or he. And so basically they're teaching us about being a little bit more social. I've been getting that message a lot lately because I'm such an island. You guys are the only ones I really interact with. I'm pretty much an island. I don't do anything with anybody, and I'm constantly getting from spirit, you know, we want to see her. I've been hearing it on the radio, little snippets. We would like to see her the way she used to be. We would like to see her be a little bit more social. So this is one of the messages that Porcupine is bringing forward, and they're saying, you know, it's okay to make yourself unapproachable when somebody's in your field or bugging you. But don't isolate yourself. That means you're out of balance, and you've kind of like got yourself stuck in a situation. They're speaking about when arguments occur between people. This unfriendly behavior, the porcupine quill. Sometimes with porcupine people, when you get into a disagreement or a misunderstanding, your quills will come up and you'll strike out, and you actually don't mean to. So they're saying, you know, be careful about that when you're out of balance, when you get frustrated, and you know, like you said, this unfriendly behavior will appear. But you need to have a release, you know, a walk away. And if that's what's going to happen, if you feel like you're going to lose it, or if you're going to start fighting with somebody, they're saying, you know, walk out of the room, go get a drink of water, excuse yourself, but try not to shoot your quills off when you get, you know, don't let your defenses shoot your quills off unnecessarily. They're also talking about there might be situations where stealth is appropriate. You know, they talk about approaching situations indirectly. At this time, you know, in your life as a porcupine, they're speaking to you specifically right now. Approaching indirectly, it could be not a good thing at this time. They want you to face the problem, the person, the event, whatever it is, because you're causing yourself more aggravation than you are smoothing things out. So it feels though they're talking about when you've backed yourself into a corner, and at this time, the hiding is not working for you. This isn't going to work. You need to literally get yourself out and face it and deal with whatever it is. What else they're talking about? You know, once these quills go out, you know, and they get into you, they're not easily removed. They're piercing. They're very painful. So it talks about words or barbs that cling and can't be removed. You know, words are easy to release, but they're impossible to take back. You know, once you've spoken something, you can be forgiven, but the words that you said, you know, it can take a long time. Sometimes it's not easy for people to forget. Sometimes it sits in the back of their mind and they have doubt. Even if you say, no, I didn't really mean that, they're going to be thinking, you said it. You know, you wouldn't have been moved to say that if that's not what you felt. So you got to be really careful about shooting off your quills when you're feeling like you're under attack, because maybe you're not under attack. You know, relieving yourself and by allowing them to go off is going to cause a problem for you later. So they're basically saying, wait until your anger has like subsided before you recognize what it is that your heart is wanting to say. And, you know, if it's true and once the anger is past, you know, then you're going to be able to say that to the person without having like a hostile tone, without having a fight. Like you never, you know, what do they say? Angry words when spoken are, oh great, I can't remember what it is right now. But anyway, don't do it when you're angry. Don't speak when you're angry, whatever it is. It's like, don't go to the grocery store when you're starving. Don't go to the mall when you can't afford anything right now. And don't talk to anybody when you're getting into a fight and shoot off stuff that you can't take back. What else? They're talking about, at this time, it won't kill you to be, you know, reasonable, you know, and be kind. It might kill your ego, but ego is what we need to let go of. You know, we're not supposed to be dealing with ego here. Talks about the porcupine standing the ground in confrontation, and they're talking about how it takes weeks for the porcupine to regrow lost quills. So if she's, you know, fought the battle and she's escaped it, she's still in a compromised position for weeks until the, you know, the armor is renewed. So the confrontation is the last resort. And now you're gonna, like, after you have this is kind of like, this is what the porcupine, so this will help for people who have porcupine people in their lives. If you've had this disagreement, it's gonna, don't expect them to be able to come back, and that's the bummer for it. Don't expect them to be able to come back and take back what they've said, or they have to kind of go back and recharge. I feel like they're introverted people, and they're at a loss for words, and it's going to take them a little while to rebuild. Just like the porcupine, it takes them a while to rebuild their armor. This porcupine person, it's going to take them a while to rebuild their personal armor so that they're going to be able to come back. And so sometimes weeks go by and the situation can spiral out of control. So it's like, be really, really careful. So they're saying, if you can sidestep your ego at this time and you are a porcupine person and you have done this, make a move. Do something to let the person know, you know, hey, I shot my mouth off, or, you know, I misunderstood, or, you know, I'm over it, I'm sorry. You know, sometimes when emotions run high, things come across, and, you know, can we forget it happened, or whatever. Just make some kind of a move. We've got the little loons over there. I'm going to have you guys look in this direction because that sun is like right in my eyes. What else are they talking about porcupine? They're talking about the time of death and loss. I'm wondering why. I'm not quite sure. I think I can remember that. I think I'm going to pass on that one because I can't quite think of what that is. I guess that must be about the death and loss. That would be like losing the porcupine quills and a period of time that's going to go by. That's like a death and time of loss. And it could be a loss if you have shot your porcupine quills off and you've lost somebody that's dear to you because of doing this. So that must be what they're telling about that. They're also saying that the porcupine is a fantastic guide to deal with in times of grief, because their energy is very childlike, and, you know, children, that's to deal with your inner child, or to focus on your children. Don't get they're not overcome in grief as adults are. Oh, sorry, the wind is just blowing in my face. My lips are all dry. They're also talking about they can be a glimmer of hope for those that are in depression, having depressive behavior episodes, or if they're going through pain. This is the totem animal that you can call on, and it brings you your inner child forward, which helps you deal with it. And they're talking about the porcupine. They've got 30,000 or more quills, and all of them are buoyant. Now you think about water and emotion. So these porcupine quills are filled with air, so they're able to float, right? So when the quills are engaged, they're being filled with air. The buoyancy basically is kind of like a symbolic way of saying that you're able to stay above the water, you know, the emotional waters of your life. So call on the porcupine when life is like bringing you into turbulent waters, or when there's upset or there's depressive feelings. Ask for the assistant to keep you assistance of porcupine medicine. You literally just have to say, I'm calling upon porcupine medicine. I need you to help me. This is a time of, you know, depression for me, or a time of struggle for me. So could you help me? What else? They're saying that, contrary to misunderstandings, the porcupine quills aren't poisonous and they don't eject. The Arapaho Indians take the quills. They suspected that they're like arrows, and they were fierce warriors, the Arapaho people, and they valued the porcupine for their quills. So they thought that the porcupine was a warrior. So basically what it's talking about is, instead of warrior as in battle, it's talking about dealing with communication in the spirit realm. The porcupine was the war liaison for the Arapaho Indians, and they have, because of their fearlessness and their defense system, the porcupine was like their little mascot. and they could intervene on behalf of matters where there was communication. So if you've got issues like when you need to be you need help in which way do I go? I'm blowing around everywhere. Where you need help in communication with the spirit world or help at all, call upon in communication with anyone, call upon the porcupine medicine. Porcupine is also seen as a symbol of strength. Oh wow! Hope the wind doesn't make this really weird when we're trying to talk here. They're seen as a symbol of strength. There's, we've shown them as the warrior. They have, they've got all kinds of prestigious accolades given to them. The people of Africa speak about their fires. They talk about solar power. Their porcupine medicine deals with vitality, growth, energy, spirituality, joy, hope, power. There's a lot in there. Love, defense, curiosity, because they've got the childlike innocence. So that would be the curiosity. My cards are blowing away. No. I thought I had this wire being tied up here. But they also have something to do with love and partnership. And you would think that, warrior and power and partnership and love, where does that come in? But actually it talks about the mating rituals of the porcupine. They've got kind of like a bizarre mating ritual. They mate for life. They keep only one partner. It's kind of unusual because they usually only have one baby they talk about, and they continue to mate with the same partner even though they don't need to mate. So it's kind of it talks about the importance of lovemaking and connecting with your partner. I love that. They have an overwhelming need for friendship and love. And so it talks about a true partnership that exists when you are connected to a porcupine individual. I love that, love that, love that, love that. Now, it doesn't mean that you haven't been married before in your life, but once you find your partner, because a lot of times, in our lives, we go through times where we've connected with other people and it's just not where we're meant to be. And it takes a long time to get to the place where you actually finally connect. And that happens a lot with twin souls and twin flames because we've had to learn our lessons. We may have met our partner many, many years ago, but we've had to go through lessons in order to get to the place when we're both ready to commit and come together. And that's when we're talking about this is going to be your lifelong partner. You will never leave. You will never, once you find your twin flame, you will never go to another once you come together, which I love. And the next, I don't know if I should do this because it's getting so windy. I could try. The other animal totem was the bobcat. Can you guys even see anything? I can't see my screen at all, so I don't know what you guys are looking at. But the bobcat totems talks about patience. They're hunters. They have the ability to incorporate strategy and stealth, and they have the need for a great deal of patience, which patience seems to be focused on right now in my life. And I swear to God, that's one thing that Spirit has done for me over the last number of years. I was the most impatient person on the planet. I'm an Aries, and I literally I swear I've got the patience of a saint because of what I've had to wait for. So the bobcat message is basically saying to you that you're going to get what you want, but you got to be willing to plan and be adaptable, and above all, you need to be patient and while you watch these things manifest. Bobcat deals with social settings, family, work, friends. They remind you that you need to stay aware. You need to be mindful of how you respect, love, and show consideration to others. I'm going to let you guys look around again because it's looking really pretty right now, and I think I'm going to lose my papers if I don't be careful. What else is Bobcat speaking to us about? They're a solitary creature, so it might be that there's a sign for you to step back from the company of certain people in your lives. It might be saying that you need some time to yourselves, alone time to reflect, regain our energy. That kind of goes along with the porcupine, right? The porcupine needs a little time to regenerate. So again, I'm getting people that are introverted. They need time. Extroverted people do well with being around others. That's how they gain their energy. Introverted people need to be on their own to self-charge, and so they've got to be. So they're telling you, if you need this time, take it. It's interesting. So many people think that I'm an extrovert, and I'm not at all. I'm not quite an introvert, but I absolutely do understand the need for being alone. Everyone's been asking me to go to parties all day today for the Super Bowl, and I'm out on the canoe by myself, and I'm actually really, really enjoying it. So it talks about, maybe you need to step back, alone time, reflect, regain your energy. You know, take a break from the public eye. That's probably for me. I don't know how I'm going to do that. They talk about us trying to be more playful in our lives, a little bit more flexible, you know, as opportunities approach. They're telling you to reach out for opportunities, break out of your regular routine. They ask you to consider parts of ourselves that we don't normally recognize, and, you know, which means go deep into yourself, into your heart, your mind, kind of like, what is your potential? You know, look into what your potential really is. Maybe you need to consider passions that you've been keeping a secret, things that you haven't been allowing others to hear about you. Is there a hidden desire that you need to allow to be seen or to speak up? Are you keeping secrets that way? So they're saying, don't keep that a secret. Don't keep what you feel a secret. Don't keep your passion a secret. It's time for you to step forward. You've got to be open and willing to receive the messages from Bobcat, or you're not going to hear it. You know, they're a very advanced teacher, and the ones with a Bobcat totem, they're generally usually young people that have very old souls. Now, if you're a young person that has an old soul, you're often misunderstood. People will sometimes. I think about my son this way. My son is much this way. A lot of times they look like they're people that have a chip on their shoulders, and that's not really what it is. Or they think that, you know, they hold grudges, but it's actually not the case. It's that they're very solitary, and they pull in. So Bobcat will serve as a teacher to these young ones because they've got a lot to sort out. They're actually very, very intelligent people, and often they can't find outside support to help them with their learning process. So the old souls in these young bodies tend to be resentful, you know, and they have to kind of learn these lessons along the way on their own because people don't get them. That's why it's so important to surround yourselves with people that are like you and spiritual people. And why it's so important for parents of indigo children and crystal children, I spoke to you about this before, to understand what their children need, because a lot of times they don't know how to interact, and they don't know how to learn their lessons because they're not quite sure how to express themselves. So with Bobcat, you know, it's just talking about seeking out communication. Even though you're somebody that tends to be more solitary, if you find somebody that you connect with, you know, work with them, speak with them. And even with spirit, you know, they're asking you to be a little bit more playful. For the ones that you actually do allow into your life, you know, you need to recognize that there are ones that do understand you, and even if they are different than you, if they've shown themselves trustworthy and they've shown themselves to be of a spiritual nature, they're going to be in your highest good. So don't be afraid, and don't stick your quills out like the bobcat or the porcupine. Just want to show you all the birds coming. These are all the seagulls. Seagulls speak of freedom. They like to be free, and just like the bobcat likes to be free. But look at them; they're together. They're flying together. So they found, you know, birds of a feather flock together, right? So they're speaking to you about that, about even though you may have a need for freedom, when you find the ones that you know, your soul tribe, and ones that you connect with, even if there's just a couple, go with them, and you can be free together. They're enjoying their freedom, right? But they're enjoying it together as a team. So that's kind of a message that kind of popped in right there. Okay, so I'm gonna now go to our reading, and so far we're doing so good. We haven't lost our connection, so that's cool. The deck, which, see, can you read this? I heard this right before I left. I'm like, what am I supposed to work with? And I heard the Golden Path, and I'm like, okay, so the Golden Path it is. And we have several cards. I really don't want to like dump myself in the water. I'm trying to figure out the easiest way. Maybe I'll turn this way, and I'm gonna have you guys just kind of look that way while I organize my cards. Okay. I'm going to do this with each card because I am not going to allow my cards to blow away today. I'm not going to allow them to get wet. So while I get the cards in order, I'm going to just have you guys take a, you know, look at the canoe's helping us out. It's moving us around so that you can enjoy it. Okay. So I say this is a good direction to look, right? This is pretty. So the card is Bondage. And then you can see this guy, and he's like a tree. And there's barbs like wrapped around him, and it's rocky, craggy. He's definitely not in a good space. And they're saying, you know, do you feel trapped in some way? Do you feel like you're stuck and you're not moving forward? They're telling you that what's going on right now is you have the need to free yourself from your own negative thoughts. This is what's keeping you prisoner. It's not anything that's actually, oh, that's better, sorry. It's actually not something that you can't get yourself out of, because what they're saying is you're focusing on the negative. And instead of focusing on the negative, why don't you start focusing on the positive? Because there is a positive side to this. You know, it could be that your mental attitude is the thing that's holding you hostage. It's a matter of perception. So basically what they're saying is eventually, you know, what they want you to do is they want you to focus on, oh great, here comes the wind. They want you to focus on what you can that's positive. For every negative, there's a positive. Ah! I just said I wasn't going to blow my cards away and they all went flying. For every negative, there's a positive. So they're saying focus every time you hear the negative thought come in your head. Cancel, delete. You know, get rid of it. It's your choice to for what it is that you think about. So if you're going to be focusing on the negative, you're going to find yourself wrapped up and stuck in this position and not able to move forward. So you're the one who's causing your bondage, is what they're saying. So every time you pay attention, when you find yourself going in a negative, you know when you feel negative. So whenever you start going in that direction, catch yourself and stop it and think of the positive of it. There's got to be something that, or even if you can't think of it, say, I choose to think of something positive. I choose to see the bright side of this. Show it to me. And Spirit will bring you something. And eventually, if you keep doing this, eventually you'll break this pattern of looking at things in a negative way. And then you'll start seeing that you're this darkness that you're looking at, this bondage or this hanged man or stuck in a hedge or whatever it is that you're feeling is because of you. It's because of your thinking. And you have been able to shift this. So that's the first message. I'm going to get you guys a look around here while I find my cards, because like I said, they just went all over the ground. This is actually a really positive reading. The messages that we got are, I picked them out ahead of time before I got down here, of course, and they're actually really, really, I was pleased, because there's many cards in the deck, and one after another, what we got was positive. I don't like readings where everybody does, you know, it's always fluffy and always positive. I want it real, you know, I want reality. And as we went through this, sorting process, like when I was asking for the cards, I just spread them all out, grab what Spirit said for me to grab, and they were positive messages. So I'm stoked. So what they're showing is, here we go. The first one here, positive future. They're talking about your present situation. They're saying the situation that this woman, you see this woman, she's kind of standing, I don't know if you can see, but she's got a very somber look on her face. And she's kind of looking in to the forest with kind of the open area out behind her. I don't know if you can see that. So what it's saying is that the situation that you're in right now is determined by your past actions. So in order for you to change the situation, you need to make different decisions. You know, as one door closes, another one opens. So they want you to follow your heart, your intuition, and know that everything is unfolding the way it's meant to unfold for you at the best possible time. You know, they're talking, you know, everything happens for us when it's meant to happen for us. And so they want you to focus on love and light in yourself and in other situations. Everything around you and everything in you is made up of energy. So if you want to attract positive things into your life, you need to be focusing on positive energy, and you need to start giving off positive energy, because we create our life. What we think about today is our reality tomorrow. So do you have a vision of where you want to go? Do you have something that you would like to have that you don't have at this moment? So they want you to focus on it. What is it? You know, create it. Set goals for yourself, even if they're just little ones. Set goals, for clear ones that you can accomplish. Don't do something ridiculous like, you know, I'm going to bring in $250,000 next month. I mean, one step at a time is what they're saying. Clear goals. But you know, what is a goal with a, what is it? There's an expression. A goal is a dream with a deadline, basically. So you make the decision to see yourself having a positive future. I will have a positive future. I choose to see myself in a happy, positive, productive job, relationship, family life, whatever it is. I choose to see this. I stand in the light and love, and I know everything is unfolding for me in my highest good at the appropriate moment. That's how you do it. So that's that message. The next one, let's see, where would be a good way for you guys to look? That way's pretty. The next message they're talking to us about is, okay, wings of light. Beautiful girl. Beautiful wings. Gosh, I love her wings. But she's, I don't know, can you see up close? She's got a somber face as well. So Spirit's basically saying the universe has recognized your sadness. And what they're doing is, see the size of her wings? They're saying that they've shown up as a healing. And this is the angel of light with these giant wings. Oh, this is such a cool message for me, because my twin soul, when I connect with my twin soul, and if there's a time of struggle or difficulty, I always say I wrap my wings around him. And when I'm going through a difficult time, or my family, you know, and if I'm going through a difficult time, I ask for the wings to be wrapped around me as a protection and a shield and a loving, healing presence. And that's what they're saying. Take a look at her again. They're saying that this angel has shown up. There we go. This angel is showing up because she knows that you felt lonely. And there's no need for you to feel alone. We're never alone. So she's saying these wings are what is going to be wrapped around you. And you can think of this as somebody in your life. Is there somebody in your life that you feel safe with? Is somebody that you love? I mean, it could be somebody that's here now. It could be somebody that's in spirit. Maybe it was your mother. Maybe it was, you know, your lover. Or I don't know who it is to you. Somebody that you connect with and you feel strong with. Envision their wings wrapped around you. Or if it's spirit alone, envision the wings wrapped around you, and they're telling you to place your hands on your heart and breathe in this feeling, this golden, loving feeling of energy, positive energy flowing through you, and allow it to fill your body. This is part of the healing heart technique that I taught in my class, and I've told you guys before, you know, wrap your wings around and feel this energy. You ask the Creator or for the universe or whoever it is to fill your body with these feelings of love and peace and compassion and forgiveness and understanding, or whatever it is that is the opposite of what you're feeling or what's going on. That's what you ask to be filled with. And when this is filling your body, it's healing you. And then if you would like to share this with someone, then you go to them and you would say, all of these feelings that I'm feeling in my body, I would like to connect with you, and I'd like to share these with you. And if you're feeling this, if you're connecting with me, let me know. Send them back. I would like you to know it's coming from me, and I would like you to send it back. And then you should feel it stronger. And what it does is, you've got this universal love and healing light that's going from you to them, whether it be spirit or a loved one, soulmate, whatever it is. It goes first from the Creator to you, fills your body, goes from you to the one that you're sharing it with, back from the person you're sharing it with, and it keeps going around and around in a circle. So you're not only lifting each other's vibration, but you're healing one another, and you're drawing each other close. So it's an amazing technique that you can use. And they're saying that you're going to receive a positive sign within the next few days. It's going to leave no doubt in your mind that you are actually being taken care of, and that Spirit is watching over you. Oh, blowing away again. Okay, hold on. I'm going to hold you here again for a second while I get the next message for us. So far so good with the phone not shutting off. Yay! I asked for it before we came out because it seems to shut off lately, and I don't know why. Okay, so what they're talking about here, let me get this arranged for us. This one, this one, this one. All right. So what we got here is Rose Petals. Rose Petals. And she's laying back and she looks pretty relaxed. And her hair's swirling around her, and she's got all of these beautiful white roses. White roses have a symbolic meaning of love. What they're talking about is the path is beginning to clear. And they're talking about any obstacles that were in our way before are starting to vanish. And the time of waiting, whatever you've been waiting for, the time of waiting is coming to an end. And you're going to be moving forward, and you're going to have confidence, and you're going to have renewed clarity. This is a very, very positive time. They're talking about, they're talking about any blocks or challenges that in the recent months that you have dealt with, they were there on purpose. I'm all blown away. They were there on purpose. You can literally think about them as an act of divine intervention. They were placed in your way on purpose because it wasn't time for you to move forward in the area that you wanted to move forward. They're saying that it was essential to your success to allow some time to go by and to allow this time of waiting, so that the universe was able to, allow all of the pieces of the puzzle to be fit together, because often, you know, we're all interconnected, so it's not all just about us. Sometimes when it's just about us, sometimes things move quicker. But when it's involving somebody else or other people, it may take a little while. So at this time, they're saying if you had moved ahead previously, it would have ended up in frustration because nothing. It wasn't time for this to happen yet. And they're basically saying it was a time for you to surrender. A lot of times we have to surrender. We've had that message before, right? Where you need to surrender to the universe and allow the season to pass. But they're saying now is the time to move. The time of waiting is over. Now is your time. They're talking about dreams coming to fruition. So much so, I keep seeing the seagulls. I keep getting the word freedom. But it's going to be like, in the picture, rose petals falling from heaven. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful time. So that's what's coming to us now. Look at that. That's a vulture, rebirth, regeneration. It's our time. You know, I wish you guys had seen her because this morning I saw my red hawk and she's so beautiful. I don't see her often, but that tells me that there's a message coming. So that's another message to us, that there is a message coming forward. If you've been waiting for something, waiting for a sign of something, they're saying pay attention because it's on its way. I didn't see her out here, but it doesn't matter. I saw her before I came, so the message is still valid. Okay, the last card, new beginning. Woohoo! So she's